So, day number 4. 4? 3? 3 maybe. Traditions Day. So this was on, this was on the Thursday. I had traditions. I was in the morning class, so I had to be on the bus at 6:30. The bus didn't actually leave until 7, and my class started at 8. This was the first day that you get paid if you're on the college programme. Although a little thing to know, I think it's definitely how it was last year. You get paid at the rate of your role. So that means although everyone's taking the same class, you could be paid differently. So traditions, you get into the class. Me and Amy were like almost at the back of the queue. We got to the front nearly, and there was about 7 people left, and the woman panicked because they have to check your passport so they can sign you in, and then she was just like, oh, we've only got 5 IDs but we've got 7 people, but me and Amy had brought our old IDs back so we could get new ones, so we had to hand those in. They wrote it down on a piece of paper, and then we just went in. Then to sign us in, the guy asked for our blue IDs. Obviously we didn't have them, so he just had to sign us in just by asking our name. We found the last 2 seats together on a table, right at the very front, with all of the other girls that were English. Then we sat and watched a presentation from Chris, who's from Orlando, Florida. So a little tip, if you ever see a cast member wearing Chris Orlando, Florida, they've lost their name tag, because that is the generic name tag that they usually give to people if they've lost it, or they've forgotten to bring it in that day. So yeah, we did a little presentation on that. That was really boring. I nearly fell asleep, but then they went on to more fun stuff, and went through, we got this book, Traditions book, and we started to go through that. So they went through, the first thing we got to do, well, I think we had another presentation, we watched another video, they spoke to us a little bit, and then we did a little game where you had to write down as many Disney animated characters as possible in 90 seconds, and we got 31, and we were runners-up, and the people in front of us got 32, so we were 1 character out, but it was fine. Oh, just before that as well, you had to nominate a team leader for the group, and you had to practice your Disney point, which is 2 fingers or a hand, not using 1 finger, because they say if you point with 1 finger, especially to a child, they might be used to like the 1 finger as being told off. In some cultures that's offensive, so they say to use 2 fingers or a whole hand. So we had to practice our Disney point, and to practice it, she just said to practice your Disney point, and on the count of 3 you had to point at somebody that you want to nominate as your team leader. Now last year I was the team leader for my group in Traditions, and again it happened to me again. So although I was the team leader, I knew exactly what was coming, and I knew that I'm not a particularly fast writer, so I handed my role over to Amy, which meant that she also got a little critter, and I can't see it anywhere. I don't know what she's done with it, but she got a little Donald Duck critter. So yeah, we did that. Then we learned about the common goals and Disney values. Then we played a little game where you had to learn about the history of Disney. So you had to put certain events in not numeric, but like by their date, in date order. Yeah. Then we learned about the 4 keys. Then we learned about safety, and more safety, and more safety. Then we learned about the present Disney, and then we learned about the future of Disney. Then we also learned what the hub was, which I already knew, but obviously some people didn't. But yeah, I find that class really, really fun. Like, it's, you know, some people find it boring, but I really enjoy it. Then we go on a tour of Magic Kingdom. We go through the Utilidors, because Magic Kingdom's built on ground 2, so underneath it there are tunnels, so cast members can get from place to place and like almost pop up, so it's like magic that they just appear there, and it stops cast members walking through areas that they don't work in. So say someone that works in Frontierland doesn't walk through Adventureland, and someone that works in Tomorrowland doesn't have to walk through Main Street to get to work. They just pop up in their location. So yeah, we walked through that, and then we went back to the classroom. We learned a bit more. It was only a 4-hour class, so we were finished by 12:30. So me and Amy came straight back to the apartment, we got changed, and we went straight out to Hollywood Studios, and then we went and got lunch at Pizza Planet. But yeah, so traditions I think is really fun for people that don't know a lot about Disney, because obviously not everybody that works here is like a Disney fanatic. They don't all watch Disney films, so for people that don't know Disney very well, like, you don't have to like come knowing everything. They teach you the stuff that you have to know, and even that you don't really need to know it. It's just if a guest asks you, it's nice to have a little bit of extra material to be able to tell them. So if you've studied the history of Disney and someone says, oh, how long's Haunted Mansion been open, then you can tell them because you learnt it in your traditions class. So yeah, but then at the end of the class, we got our name tags. I definitely had mine ready to show you. Oh, here it is. So yeah, we got our name tags, but first, before we got our name tags, Mickey Mouse brought in a box, and we thought that was going to be our name tags, but they weren't ready yet. So our leader, who was called Cookie, she asked us some questions, and then Mickey was going around handing out critters. So the first question was, I can't remember what the first question was. Who's the founder of the Walt Disney Company? Obviously, Walt Disney. But then the other question we got was, what's the first 3 words of our common goal, which is we create happiness. So I answered that one, and I got this little guy, Pluto, who's going to be my new best friend for the summer. So I was super happy about that, and I got it from Mickey Mouse, and I got a handshake and a kiss on the hand. So I was really happy about that I managed to get a critter, because I got one last year. I got a Minnie Mouse, so it was nice that I got another one to go with that. So yeah, that was traditions.
Hey Amy, who did we just meet?
Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope.
And how excited were you?
So good. So good. He's just recording me now. Being all sad because I've lost my photo pass less than an hour after getting it. It could be on the floor. I bet Ralph stole it. Well, she definitely gave it me back.
Maybe Ralph wrecked it.
I'm gonna go over and be like, did Ralph wreck my photo pass? Because I lost it.
I'm gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it. Really, really don't write.
Oh dear.
It's definitely not in my purse, people. It's I'm not just going mad, it's not in there. I'd see it, it's not there, right? Literally gone. It's not in here, I don't even know why I'm looking. No. You just film me in my sad day. I had it! Pocket, it's in my pocket. I found it! This is why somebody needs to tell me to check my pocket, because that happens.
Well, now the whole of YouTube can tell you forever to check your pockets if you lose something. Right, YouTube, she's putting it in her purse.
It's going in, guys.
Oh yeah, right, so you're not going to lose anymore.
No, well, I mean, I probably will.
Right, okay, so you can say goodbye now.
this is going to be the last thing I think I'm going to put in this video, because I've now got 3 days off, and I just realised probably how unattractive I just looked at this then. I'm getting really tired and I'm a little bit hungry, and I've been bitten as well. So this is going to be the last bit of this video. I didn't want to do it yesterday because Amy hadn't had her training yet, this Welcome to Entertainment class, and I didn't really want to tell her what happened in it. So basically we went to Disney University again. There was about maybe 20 people, 20, maybe a bit more. 4 to a row, 3 rows on each side. Oh, yeah, 24. We're over 25 people. And there was probably about half of us maybe that were, well, maybe just under half, that were character performers. We were all college programme. There was probably about 6 Americans, maybe 5. There was 2 French, and the rest were from England. No, it must be more Americans, because there was me, a guy who's friends with Goofy, girl that's friends with Pooh. Yeah, I reckon there was probably about 4 English that were being performers, and then the rest were probably American, with about 3 French, I think. Everyone was really, really nice. The rest of the class was made up of character attendants and costuming, so the whole class kind of was quite broad in terms of the entertainment department. So I'm going to be one of these really awkward people, because there's going to be so much about this welcome class that I can't say, due to integrity and preserving the magic. So I'll tell you what I can. Basically we learn about safety in the workplace, again the 4 keys, but we learn about what's the best thing to do with our bodies, because obviously as performers we're going to be moving a lot, so there are people on the site of Disney that are there to help you with strengthening and conditioning your muscles, to make sure that you don't strain anything, because obviously if you strain something then they're out of a worker and they've got to find somebody to replace you until you are fully healed. So they have basically fitness instructors. They do warm-up sessions throughout the day, so a good 15, maybe 20 minutes of my shift is going to be warming up before I go out on set. They stress the importance of drinking water throughout this session. Like, they literally take breaks to tell you all to get up and go and get a glass of water, and then once you finish that one, they tell you to go and get another one. So it was really important that I had a bottle with me that day. We also went on a tour of Magic Kingdom. Again, we went to the Utilidors, but this time we went to the entertainment department. So there's not really a lot that I can say for there, apart from the fact that we went to the photo pass office, and we can have a look at the photos that have been taken of us that day, so we can see what our poses and stuff are like, and just basically analyse our own work. We also went to have a look at the warm-up room. We met a few photo pass people. We met some of the dancers from Dreaming On with Mickey. Met some other performers, but that's pretty much all I can tell you about that section. Due to integrity, I can't really tell you what else there was there. What else did we do? We then actually went on stage at Magic Kingdom and we watched Dream Along with Mickey. We were there not just to watch it though, we were there to analyse and look at one of the 4 keys, which was called show. So we were looking for things that just make that performance like as magical as possible. So when we got back to the classroom we discussed it, and we were saying things like how they add extra decoration to the stage just to make it different. Then we also saw that at one point Mickey and Minnie get up on a podium that rises, and although they don't go that high up, due to safety they have to be clipped onto a pole, just in case anything does happen. Maybe it gets really, really windy and they get blown off, that way they can't move. And that's the same for the floats. Any characters that are on the floats, they have to be clipped onto those. What else did we do? We then watched some character interaction stuff, and again analysed that. We then went back to the classroom where we had to do e-learning, and because I've done the programme before, all the things like guests with disabilities and safety in the workplace, what else did we have to do? There were some other things. It's all like assessment stuff, but because I did it all last year, I didn't have to do it again, so it meant I got to leave early, and I went to Company D afterwards, where I bought these little guys. They're the college alumni pin, and this casting pin just here. So I bought those 2 pins, and those are my first 2 pin purchases of the programme, so I felt that the alumni pin was quite appropriate, as this year, although I'm doing the college programme, I am an alumni of the college programme after doing it last year. But yeah, so that's basically what yesterday was, and then I came back. We were going to go to Hollywood Studios, but I was completely zonked from getting up and obviously having no days off so far. We were just going from one day to another. Ooh, sorry. So yeah, I was really, really tired, so I came in and the roommates wanted to watch a film, so we sat down and watched Brave. Amy went to bed before I did because she had to get up this morning, and she's not back yet, as it's only 1 o'clock, so at this point she's probably at Magic Kingdom because we went to go and watch the 1:15 show of Dreamland with Mickey, so she's probably at Magic Kingdom right now looking through backstage. But yeah, the whole class was basically a lot of fun, really. Everyone's super nice. I got chatting to quite a lot of people. There's another girl that's in the same height range as me, so she's going to be friends with Pluto too. And she's never done the programme before, so I was just like putting her out there. I was just like saying that I've done the programme before, so if there's anything that she needs to know, that she's more than welcome to ask. And she only lives at Patterson as well, and she's starting training on Tuesday, so hopefully that's going to be a lot of fun, that there's somebody else that I know. I also met a lad that's from Manchester, and he's going to be friends with Goofy, and he starts training on Tuesday too. And there was a lad from France, and he's going to be friends with Goofy as well, I think. So yeah, so I got talking to this little girl, she's small because she's going to be friends with the mouses, but yeah, so she was saying, we were talking to her, and she was asking about how we found the audition, and being an international college programme, we don't have to audition. So she was just like, oh, that's not fair, like they just let you be a character performer, like all the Americans have to go to auditions and they try really hard. But obviously I've got like a dance and drama background anyway. This guy from France, obviously he said he's been a break dancer and hip hop dancer for the past 6 years, so yeah, I think that's all good. But there's like obviously people that have just been picked based on their height, so I think had I not had the experience and training that I had, then maybe I probably wouldn't have standed as much of a chance. But yeah, so that was basically that session. It was nice to meet some other people that were character performers, and obviously it's nice to meet some attendants as well, because obviously I'm going to be working really closely with them. But there's another class today, exactly the same class that Amy and Katie are in, and Courtney. So there's obviously going to be a lot more people. But yeah, so that's me kind of done until Tuesday. So this video is already an hour long, so I don't really know what to do with it. I might try and see if I can cut it down a little bit, but I'm really sorry if you've sat through and watched all this. But yeah, hopefully I can upload it. I've never uploaded a video that's an hour long, so sorry guys, I might have just split it into 2. Yeah, I think I might do that. Okay, well, enjoy if you've watched both parts. Brilliant, I love you guys. But thanks for subscribing. If you want anything like written down as a blog post, then I can do that. My plug will always be in the little box. So, yeah. See you later.